Hundreds of Guatemalans took to the streets to celebrate the arrest of former Vice President Roxana Baldetti and the call for an impeachment process against President Otto Pérez Molina Friday for high-level involvement in a major fraud scheme. Protesters chant slogans such as "Out with the corrupt" and 100 years in jail for Pérez and Baldetti for stealing the lives of all Guatemalans. The news brought new energy to 4 months of protests and popular outrage.
For Guatemala, this means joy, dignity. It signifies the satisfaction of knowing that all these Saturdays, these fights that we have been worth it, at least as far as capturing this lady goes. We hope that we will have justice, that President Otto Pérez Molina will also go to jail. We hope that elections are cancelled because we're in no condition to vote.
On Friday, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro declared a 60-day state of exception in 5 municipalities in Táchira state along the border with Colombia. He also announced that the border will remain closed for an indefinite period after 2 Venezuelan soldiers were apparently attacked by Colombian borders on Wednesday. Maduro's declarations come amid growing fears in Venezuela about the role of paramilitaries in inciting violence across the country.
I've decided to extend the closing of this border beyond 72 hours. Later we will announce the reach of this plan, but the border will remain closed until further notice, until we regularize our economic and social life, until we capture the murderers. Until then, the border will remain closed.
Earlier in the week, Maduro had announced that at least 30 paramilitary groups were operating in Venezuela.
The CARICOM region, with its 15 islands, is considered one of the world's most important centers of biodiversity. The region is now moving fast towards the sustainable management of both the marine areas and coastal resources. The partnership between CARICOM and the German government involves the protection of these precious resources from the impacts of climate change.
You realize now, as the ecotourism as a product developed, we have more users of the area. We need to protect the reef. We need to protect the fisheries industry. The generation of fishermen that we had 15 years ago is completely different to what we have today. And clearly, education, advocacy is very important, because we realize it's not just the matter of the fishing industry, it's the protection and the sustainable use of our resources.
Representative of the German government, Dr. Michael Frodenberg, says the partnership with CARICOM is based on a commitment to develop renewable energy and energy efficiency.
The Caribbean is particularly vulnerable to the observed and projected impacts of climate change because of its geographic location and reliance on natural resources for economic activities and livelihoods.
The experts say climate change is having a negative impact on the sustainability and resilience of the ecosystems, diminishing erosion protection and natural barriers that protect against storm surges and rising sea levels. This is impacting sectors like tourism and fisheries, which directly depend upon the quality of the marine environment.
Greeks reacted today to the prospect of snap elections. Parliament members opposed to Greece's international bailout walked out of the leftist Syriza party yesterday, formalizing a split after its leader Alexis Tsipras resigned as prime minister and paved the way for early elections. Greece's president gave the conservative opposition a chance to form a new government following Tsipras' resignation on Thursday, but the country appears almost certain to be heading for its third election in as many years next month.
We voted for him, for Prime Minister Tsipras, for someone young, hoping that everything would go well. We had faith in him, that he would help us out in our situation, that he would take care of matters. I don't know. I think I still support him.
Macedonian riot police beat migrants Friday with truncheons, riot shields and fire-stun grenades as thousands of mostly Syrian refugees tried to enter the country from Greece. Nearly 3,000 people have been stranded on the Greek border after Macedonian authorities declared a state of emergency Thursday and closed off its border with Greece. But after Friday's clashes, the Macedonian Interior Ministry said Friday it would allow a limited number of illegal migrants in vulnerable categories to enter Macedonia. Over 500 Donald Trump employees and supporters of their cause protested in support of better working conditions in front of the Trump International Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas Friday. Many of the protesters were migrants and also rejected Trump's racist comments towards Mexicans and others. Multi-billionaire Donald Trump is now considered the Republican forerunner for the party's 2016 U.S. presidential nomination, leading in various polls. Finally, in the U.S. in Charlotte, North Carolina, protests were held yesterday after a judge declared a mistrial in the officer-involved shooting case of unarmed black male Jonathan Ferrell in 2013. One protester was reportedly arrested. After Ferrell crashed his car and sought help knocking on a door, the homeowner called the police and Officer Randall Carrick shot the already injured man at least 10 times. With the jury at a deadlock, prosecutors must now decide whether to press on with charges and demand a retrial.
Facts that have marked the course of history. Productions designed in the English language and made for the English-speaking world. This is Documentary. Watch it on telesur.net/English. Telesur, wherever the news, you'll be there.